Hey there! Welcome back to Layer by Layer Go, the podcast where songwriting meets food and life gets better and better one layer at a time. I'm Don, and today's episode is all about keeping things simple. Now, simple doesn't mean small, it doesn't mean lazy, it basically means essential. It means cutting through the clutter to get to what actually matters. We're kicking things off with one of the most timeless rock ballads ever written, Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Now, this song isn't complex musically, but the emotion in it, pure, powerful, straight to the point. It's what every great songwriter is really after. Say more with less. We'll unpack how this tune works and how you can use its simplicity as a model in your own writing. After that, we'll take it to the kitchen for some old world magic. Basic sourdough bread. The kind that has only 3 ingredients, but somehow tastes like 100 years of tradition. It's actually thousands, truth be told. There's something grounding about baking bread from scratch. It reminds you that slowing down and doing one thing well can be more satisfying than juggling 10 things halfway. And finally, we're going to talk about mapping out your next 90 days, not with some overwhelming life overhaul or color-coded spreadsheet. Nope. We're keeping it simple. Just a few key moves, written down and broken into baby steps. The goal is clarity, not complexity. Progress, not perfection. So if you've ever felt overwhelmed by too many chords, too many ingredients, too many goals, this episode is for you. Let's strip it back, keep it honest, and find power in simplicity. You ready? Let's go! Let's talk about Simple Man, not just as a song, but as a life strategy. This track came off Lynyrd Skynyrd's debut album in 1973. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't even a big single at the time, but over the years, it's become one of their most beloved songs, not because of what it does, but because what it doesn't do. I remember the first time I really heard Simple Man, not just played in the background, but actually listened. I was standing in my shop, not sure what I was working on. Something with grease on it. Something that didn't need words. And that guitar started. That steady picking, almost like a lullaby, but grown up and rooted. Then the lyric hit. Mama told me when I was young. You just know this isn't a song trying to prove anything. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's bare truth. Dressed in denim and wood grain. From a songwriting point of view, Simple Man is a masterclass in restraint. The entire track holds on to just a few chords. No wild progressions, no complex changes. That's on purpose. It gives the listener space. Space to feel, space to hear the words. The vocals, they don't perform. They just talk. Not in a lazy way. In an honest way. It's what I call plain spoken power. And singer Ronnie Van Zant had that special magic in all his work. There's no auto-tune, there's no pitch correction, no layered harmonies. It's just one man telling one story with full confidence that that's enough. That's the kind of simplicity we forget is allowed. You don't have to dress everything up, you just have to mean it. There are only a handful of songs in rock history that say something so plainly, and it still lands like gospel. Be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Now, if you're a songwriter, that line should blow your mind, because that's the dream. To write something that says exactly what it means, nothing more, nothing less, and have it echo in the listener's soul for decades. Let's break it down musically. There's a single repeating chord progression, C down to G, and then to the song's key, A minor. No key change, no fancy structure, just verse, chorus, verse. The band lays back, no one's showing off. Even the solo waits till the song earns it, and yet it feels huge. It's slow, it breathes, it gives space for the emotion to live. That's a discipline a lot of us miss in our early writing. We try to fill every corner, more lyrics, more chords, more production, but Simple Man teaches the opposite. Strip it down and let the message stand on its own. Now, I want to bring in another song that doesn't get talked about enough. I Need You, from their second album, Second Helping. This song is like the little brother to Simple Man. It's slower, even more aching, and the lyrics are a raw confession. I need you more than the air I breathe. That's it. That's the whole thing. There's no long metaphor or clever rhyme scheme, just need. Naked, unashamed. Again, the chords are basic, the tempo is slow, but it hits harder than a song with 12 key changes and an orchestra because it's honest, and it knows how to wait. First time I heard I Need You, I was with my cousin Dennis in Bath, New York. I was already a young teenage songwriter, word weaver, note architect, front porch philosopher. At a ripe old age of 11, I will never forget the moment that song struck me, like an angel's sledgehammer. I can't say that's what made me a man, but it sure tested my wits. One thing I want you to hear clearly today, whether you're a songwriter, a baker, or a planner, simplicity doesn't mean less. It means less in the way. That's what Lynyrd Skynyrd understood. Both of these songs, Simple Man and I Need You, are acts of emotional restraint. They show you don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to be clever to be memorable. You just have to mean it. So if you're working on a song this week, here's a writing prompt you can steal. Limit yourself to 3 chords. Write from one clear emotional place, not 3 ideas at once. Use language your grandmother could understand, and that might actually make her cry. Don't try to impress, try to connect. I'm not going to toss out some one-liners, idioms, or famous cliches. That's your job. And if that feels hard, good. It should. Simplicity isn't always easy, but when it lands, it's unforgettable. What's beautiful is this same principle carries over into the next part of today's episode, because after the break, we're going into the kitchen, and I'll show you how 3 humble ingredients can make one of the richest, most grounding things in the world, a crusty golden loaf of sourdough bread. And just like songwriting, baking bread is about patience, honesty, and letting time do its work. Stay with me. We're just getting started. The recipe: basic sourdough bread. Slow down, let it rise. All right, now that we've talked about Simple Man and the beauty of raw emotion, let's take that same idea into the kitchen. This segment is all about real sourdough bread, not the kind from the store with sour flavoring. I'm talking about 3 ingredients and a little bit of love: flour, water, salt. That's it. You don't need to be a professional baker to do this. And you don't need 47 gadgets either. Just a mixing bowl, a scale if you've got one, and some time. And just like a good song, this is all about letting the simple things shine. Step 1. Understand your starter. First, sourdough starts with a starter. That's a live culture made from flour and water that catches wild yeast and bacteria from the air. If you've already got one going, great. If not, I've got a bonus episode that will be out soon where I walk you through how to start one from scratch. And of course, on my website, I can guide you to where you could purchase some if you like. But assuring you've got your starter active, it should smell a little tangy, maybe fruity, and have bubbles across the top. That's your power source. It actually smells sour. Duh. Step 2. Basic Artisan loaf recipe. Here's my no-fuss, reliable formula for 1 medium loaf. 500 grams of bread flour, that's 4 cups, or 3 3/4 cups bread flour and 1/4 cup whole wheat if you wanted to blend it. The next ingredient is 375 grams of water. That's about that's just a bit under 1 3/4 cups. It's like 1 5/8. That gives you 75% hydration. And then you'll need 100 grams of active sourdough starter, about a 1/2 cup, slightly heaping. And then you'll need 10 grams of salt, 1.5 teaspoons. So really that's 3 ingredients because the starter is made from flour and water. So you have flour, water, and salt, essentially. Mix everything except the salt in a large bowl. Stir it with your hands or a wooden spoon until it's shaggy and sticky. I usually like to wear those little disposable gloves that you see like people at Subway put on every time they make a sandwich because it can stick to your hands. I recommend that you do that. Okay, once you do that and get it till it's shaggy and sticky, you want to let it rest for about 30 minutes. This is called autolyse. It gives the flour time to absorb the water. After that, sprinkle in your salt and mix it again. You don't need to knead it hard, just fold it a few times to work the salt through. Step 3. Let time do the work. Now here's the part that tests your modern patience. You're going to let this dough rest and rise for hours, not minutes. Over the next 4 to 6 hours, every 30 minutes or so, just come by and do a little stretch and fold. Grab one side, stretch it up, fold it over, rotate the bowl a quarter turn and do the next side, then again and again. All your tucks end up in the center. Just let it sit there again. This builds strength in the dough without kneading. After that, let it rest for the final bulk rise until it's puffed up and jiggly. Step 4. Shape and chill. Turn the dough out onto a floured surface. Shape it gently into a round loaf. Don't tear it. Use the edge of your hands to pull it tight underneath as you go. Then place it in a floured bowl or a banneton if you've got one. I actually use one of those 13-inch metal chicken roasting pans. You know, the black one with the little white spots. Cover it and stick it in the fridge overnight. This cold fermentation develops flavor and makes your crust amazing. Step 5. Bake with boldness. The next day, preheat your oven to 475 Fahrenheit with a Dutch oven or heavy pot inside. Once it's blazing hot, flip your dough onto a piece of parchment, score the top with a sharp knife or razor, and lower it into your pot. Bake covered for 20 minutes. Then uncover and bake another 20 to 25 minutes until it's dark golden brown. When you take that loaf out and hear it crackling, that's the bread singing to you. As much as you're going to want to chop right into it, I'd let it rest on a cooling rack for half an hour or more. Here's a tip for sourdough bakers. We learned this the hard way, so rather than you banging up your beautiful crust with a typical bread knife, I recommend you get yourself a good one. I use a solid, affordable bread knife that slices clean every time. No more crushed crusts. You can find it on our tools page at layerbylayergo.com/tools. Yes, I do earn a small commission. Helps keep the oven hot. Simple, real, and worth it. Here's what I love about baking sourdough. You can't rush it. You can't fake it. It's flour, water, salt, and time. That's it. It's honest, just like a good song. It's nourishing, just like a good plan. And it reminds you, if you just slow down and give things space, they rise on their own. So if you've been overthinking your meals or grabbing fast food because it's easier, try this instead. Make something with your hands. Let it teach you patience. Let it teach you trust. And when you slice into it, that's your reward. You earned it, layer by layer. My wife and I make our own sourdough breads at home and enjoy it every day. I have lots of different recipes I experiment with beyond this theme of simplicity, but worth mentioning. I'll be offering those recipes in future episodes as well. Coming up next, I'll show you how to take this same mindset and apply it to planning your next 90 days. Because just like songwriting and sourdough, you don't need more. You need clarity. This week's life lesson, simplicity drill, built on free writing. Let's build on what we started last week. Remember that free writing exercise? The one where you sat down and just let words fall out? No editing, no judging, just raw thought on paper. This week we're going to use that same tool, but we're adding a lens, the lens of simplicity. Here's our drill. Number 1, open your journal or a napkin or the Notes app. Doesn't matter. 2, set a timer for 7 minutes. 3, at the top of the pages, write, what in my life feels complicated and what can I cut? Number 4, now go, write everything. Don't stop. Don't overthink. Let it pour out like coffee on a Monday. And you can pause this podcast, of course. You will be setting your timer for 7 minutes. So again, just like the free writing drill we did last time, you want to write viciously and hard and fast until the alarm goes off, and then put your pen down. When the timer stops, take 1 minute to circle the truth. Just pick one thing that feels too complicated. Then write this. How can I make this simpler? That's it. That's the drill. You're not trying to solve your whole life. You're just taking one knot and loosening it. One tangle, one layer. Keep doing that day after day, and you're going to find your voice and your piece a whole lot faster. 90 days, no fluff. Now that you've cracked open your journal and let the clutter pour out, let's turn that momentum into a plan. Not a complicated spreadsheet, not a color-coded nightmare, just a clear path, 90 days long. You don't need 100 steps, you just need 3. Step 1. Pick one result that matters. What's one thing you'd be proud to say you finished 90 days from now? It could be anything. Finish writing a 3-song EP? Launch your small batch bread biz? Reclaim your morning routine? Whatever it is, make it specific, not vague like getting better at music or be healthier. Say something like, record and upload 1 song to Spotify. Make and deliver 10 loaves of sourdough. Walk 3 times a week before 9 a.m. That's your end zone. That's where this path leads. Step 2. Break it down, but keep it human. Once you've got your result, you don't need to map every inch of the trail. Just chunk it out into 3 monthly layers. Month 1, learn and prep. Month 2, build and practice. Month 3, launch and deliver. Example, let's say you want to launch a song. Month 1, choose your best demo and rewrite it. Month 2, record it, get feedback, revise. Month 3, mix, master, and publish. You're not guessing anymore. You've got rhythm. Step 3. Use a weekly anchor. Now here's the glue. Pick one day a week where you check in with yourself. Sunday night, Friday morning, doesn't matter. Just open your notebook and ask, what did I move forward this week? What got in the way? What's one thing I can do next? It's not about being perfect. It's about staying in the present. And that's your 90-day plan. No overwhelm, no burnout, just clear, simple progress. And that's it for today's episode of Layer by Layer Go, where we keep it simple, soulful, and strong. We listened to a classic song with simple truth. We baked a loaf with 3 ingredients and some patience. And we laid down a plan for the next 90 days that's actually doable. If this resonates with you, don't let it stop here. Write your plan. Snap a photo. Share it. Use the hashtag LayerByLayerGo or tag me at LayerByLayerGo. You're not just listening. You're part of something. This isn't just a show. It's a family, and it's rising one day at a time, just like that beautiful loaf on your counter. And hey, next week, we're shifting the vibe with a reggae classic. You'll hear how 3 little birds and a big pot of Brunswick stew can teach us how to trust, let go, and keep moving forward. Before we wrap up, I want to share something I've been carrying with me for years. These aren't commandments. They're not rules. These are 10 simple truths that I keep in my pocket. They're just things I've picked up from songs, from kitchens, from failures, from a few wise folks who didn't say much but meant every word. Here are 10 simple truths I keep in my pocket. 1. If it doesn't breathe, cut it. In songs, in schedules, and controversies. I think it was Kool and the Gang when they were writing songs. They had this philosophy, don't put too much in. It's what you leave out that makes the song count. Number 2, most clutter is fear in disguise. Over-planning, over-explaining, overdoing, it's fear of not being enough. Number 3, every yes costs something. So spend your yes like cash and save a little margin. You can learn to be a master at saying no. More on that later on. Number 4, let the dough rest. In bread and in life, you don't have to be working every minute. Number 5, use fewer words, but mean them more. That's how great lyrics and great people work. Number 6, make something you can hold. A loaf, a lyric, a plan. Don't just think, make. Number 7, learn the shape of your excuses. You'll hear them dressed up as logic, caution, even love. Call them out. Number 8, progress is quieter than perfection. Don't wait for a dramatic breakthrough. Look for small movement. Number 9, write it down. Your head is not a filing cabinet. Get it on paper. Number 10, trust what lasts. Time, space, silence, a good pot of soup, a simple man with a guitar. That's it. Maybe one of those hits you. Maybe it sparks your own list. Either way, keep it close. These are the truths that hold me steady when things are getting noisy. So that's it for today. A little song, a little bread, and a whole lot of space to breathe. If this episode left you with one takeaway, I hope it's this. You don't have to do more. You just have to do what matters. We live in a world where doing is treated like a badge of honor. More apps, more hustle, more noise, but Simple Man reminds us there's power in restraint. You don't have to write a 12-verse epic. You don't have to reinvent dinner. You don't need 5 planners and 3 whiteboards to get your life together. All you really need is a clear heart, a clean space, and the guts to show up. If you've got that, you're already ahead of the game. One of the best compliments I ever got was from someone who told me, "Man, your advice doesn't make me feel behind. It makes me want to begin." That's what this podcast is about. Not showing off, but showing up. So whether you're journaling on the porch, kneading dough in the kitchen, or jotting song lyrics in the margin of a receipt, you're doing it. You're living it. One layer at a time. Here's a prompt for your journal. Before you move on with your day, pause. This show isn't just to entertain you. It's here to help you move forward. Open your journal. Write down this prompt. What would a simple kind of plan look like for me over the next 90 days? What can I let go of? And what's essential that I need to keep? Do it now. Write your thoughts. Snap a photo. Use the hashtag #LayerByLayerGo or tag me @LayerByLayerGo. If this stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, someone who's trying to quiet the chaos. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's coming next. Head over to layerbylayergo.com and grab today's free journaling prompts and planning tools. They're simple, they're printable, and honestly, they're what I use myself. You can actually get a Layer by Layer Go journal if you like. Want to take it one layer deeper? Start a Keep It Simple challenge this week. Cut one thing from your to-do list. Make one meal with 5 ingredients or less. Write one verse using just 3 chords. See what happens when you remove the clutter. Any inspirations you get from this podcast are yours to keep. Put on your wall, your journal, or your ever-expanding music catalog. I would certainly love to hear any wins or creations of yours. Songs, recipe modifications, whatever. You can send them to submit@layerbylayergo.com. And next time, we're heading to the island. Episode 3 is all about Bob Marley's 3 Little Birds. and the wisdom that comes with trusting the moment instead of wrestling with it. You're going to learn how letting go is actually a form of strength and how to apply that to your music, your kitchen, and your life. We'll talk about what it really means to trust the process, even when life feels out of tune. So I'll see you there. Same bowl, same spoon, same heart,